I'd like to introduce Megan. She is the VP and Chief Development Officer for Vision Corp Foundation. She's here to talk about her organization. And she was on the Monday call 2 weeks ago, so if you heard her then, you'll hear her again. Go ahead, Megan.
Yes, and if that's the case, I apologize, but I do have something new that we just added since the Monday presentation. So thank you for having me. I'm going to share my screen here. Oh, share sound. Okay. I have a video I want to show as well. Okay. Can you all see that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So thank you for having me. Vision Corps is your local blind association serving Lancaster, Lebanon, Adams, Chester, and York counties. So of course, Elizabethtown would fall into that. Our mission is to empower individuals with vision loss to attain independence. And we do that through a variety of services that I'll go over. Our overall vision is that we see a world where vision loss is not a barrier to economic and personal independence. Our CEO will tell you that the best feeling he gets is when one of our clients or one of our employees who are blind comes in very excited about buying their first home or something similar that we were able to be a part of thanks to community support. We wouldn't exist without the community support that we get. So we were established in 1926. We're coming up on 95 years here. And it started out as a kind of hand-holding agency where we would help people who are blind but weren't yet shifting to providing them the tools and training they needed to be independent. It was more, here, I'll help you cross the street, instead of, I'm going to train you to cross the street on your own. And we also had employment since 1926, started out caning chairs and basket weaving, which we still get calls about if we still do that. We do not, but we do have one employee who was caning chairs up until about a year ago on his own. And we've really evolved since then, which you'll see in a video I'll show in a little bit. So our goal for our services side of the agency is to help individuals stay in their homes, wherever that may be, if they're in independent living in a retirement home or still living independently in a home they've lived in their entire lives. And so to do that, we help with daily activities. If you know someone who is blind that could benefit from our services, the first step would be with a case manager to determine their goals. One thing I want to say before I go on is when I'm saying people who are blind, less than 10% of our clients are totally blind. So more than 90% of our clients have some vision that we work with. It's a pretty big misconception we found, that people think you have to be totally blind to receive our services. That is not the case. Legal blindness in the United States is defined as a visual acuity of 20/200 with the best corrective lenses. So a lot of people take their glasses off and say they're blind, but with the very best corrective lenses you can get, if your acuity is still 20/200 or worse, you're considered legally blind. And a lot of conditions like macular degeneration, that would be considered legal blindness. Glaucoma, cataracts, there's usually combinations of them. So when I'm talking about these things, the majority of our clients do have some vision, but not enough that would allow them to legally drive. But once a person would meet with their case manager and determine their goals, they could receive mobility training, orientation mobility training, which is the white cane. We could connect them with our technology specialist to learn how to continue to read books if that's something that they enjoyed doing, either through audible books, audio books, or through a machine called a CCTV, which would enlarge text depending on their vision and what they prefer. We also help in the kitchen with cooking, cleaning, anything like that, matching clothes, little tricks to tell the difference between a black pair of pants and a navy, put a safety pin on the tag of the navy blue pants. There's real little things like that that don't cost anything, but if you don't have the training and knowledge to think of that, you may not do it on your own. So that's what we're there for. And most of these things fall under our occupational therapy program, but of course the orientation mobility, we have specialists for that. And we also just hired a technology specialist. So if you do know someone who has vision loss or could benefit from our services, we need a referral from their doctor. And the way that we get that is they just have to sign something saying that they give their eye doctor, they are allowed to release their eye report to show that they qualify for services. Now, if people don't quite qualify but are having difficulties and they know this is a progressive issue that will get worse, we will work with them to prepare them for potential vision loss or blindness. And that's what we do for our adult services, as well as some of our kids get all of that training as well. You can see in the picture here in the top right corner, there's a little boy who's receiving white cane training. We also do recreational activities. That picture with the girl with the hula hoop was actually in E-Town at Ironstone Ranch. So we have participated in programs up there. And then we also have kayaking, which is really cool. Kids who are blind kayaking, sometimes by themselves, sometimes with a guide in the kayak, but always with a guide in a kayak beside them to help them. You talked about an egg hunt that you guys have. We have an egg hunt around Easter with beeping eggs. So they are audible. So the children who do not have vision listen to them and get close as they can until they find it. And lots of other seasonal events, field trips. We've done scuba diving with our kids. And all of this is part of the expanded core curriculum. So they're getting the core curriculum in their regular classroom. And then what we do expands that to include other things, including daily living skills, which I talked about earlier. But giving them the opportunity to be able to be independent, be able to fix a snack if they get home from school and a parent isn't present or something like that, or just do it independently even if their parents are there. So we work very hard to build independence and confidence in these kids because they are more than likely the only kid in their classroom and probably their school who are blind because the incident rate of blindness is so low. But we're bringing these kids together and they have a sense of community, and all these recreational activities kind of turn into a support group without them even knowing it. So a lot of neat friendships have been built through our youth program. In addition, we have an employment program. Now, this helps to fund our services. However, this is not a sheltered workshop. All of our employees are getting paid above minimum wage. They have access to the same benefits that our office employees, administrative employees have. And as I said, this helps to fund our services in addition to community support. Those rehab services I talked about cost us about $1.5 million a year to provide, and we do not charge our clients. So income is never a barrier to receive services with us. If you are on Medicare, we do bill for occupational therapy, but the client never gets a bill. We just bill through Medicare, and they do reimburse for some of those services. Now, our employment program, 75% of our employees working in our industries are legally blind. That is through something called the Ability One Act, which mandates that if a company has employment being done by people who are blind, at least 75%, the government must do business with them. Now, that's interpreted different ways, and we're always kind of fighting for that. But for example, we used to make file folders. Now, any government employee could go down the street to Staples and get file folders, but the goal would be for them to go to this website where they order from a list of vendors. We would have been included when we were making them that are doing this type of employment. So some things that we make helmet pads for the US military, which I'm going to show you in a video. We also do cleaning products, mostly for the federal government. We are in over 95% of the federal prisons. They are using our cleaning products. And so as you can imagine, when the pandemic started, there's a huge demand for this. And all of our manufacturing operations were considered essential except for one. And so we were just overwhelmed with orders, and it was hard getting some of these cleaning supplies in to bottle. They come in these huge, I don't even know what they call them, but they're the size of a pallet. square. And we then bottle them into smaller bottles, gallons, and then like your average spray bottle. So we were very busy during the pandemic, which was good for business. And we managed to get through with very few cases within our industry. In fact, I don't think we had any until the fall. So we took all the precautions to keep everyone safe, and everyone is still safe from that. Beyond the chemicals, the cleaning products, we also package rice for the US military, which is newer for us, food packaging. We do that in our Lebanon facility. The ones that you all have probably seen are the delineator posts on the side of the highway. They are the reflective posts, and we make all of the ones that you would see on the state roads. So we like to joke that snow is great for us because the plows knock them down and we get lots of orders. So this past winter, hopefully we'll start to see some orders coming in for replacements once all the snow melts all over. But that's something that I think most people are aware of, is those delineator posts. So, because normally I would give you a tour of the agency if we were in the building, we created a video of our pad line. So I'm going to play this, and somebody speak up if you do not hear the sound, but I did click to share sound. And I actually took this video, so it's me talking, but it's just going to play. So if you interrupt, I might not hear you, but I'll take questions after. It is 2 parts, so I'll show this one, then the second part. Welcome to our industry. Uh-oh. So this is the second floor of our Lancaster office. And here we do helmet pads for the United States military. We do 75% of all the pads worn by the entire military. So they come to us like this from a company in Ohio called Team Wendy. There are 2 sides. There's a softer side and a more dense side. And what we do is they get screen printed. You can see there's a template there for the pads to go into. Everything is pedal operated. The ink is put onto the pads. This is tracking information in case there'd be a recall or anything like that. It's checked by our quality specialist. It goes through this heat tunnel to cure the ink. Oh, we just missed one. And from there, once the ink is cured, it goes down the chute to the first floor where they're cut, packaged, and delivered. All right, here's the second part. Here's the second part of the pad production. They come down this chute. We have Jesse here using our die cutter to cut the pads out of the sheet. After they're cut, the scrap is removed and they're lifted with the Velcro board, and they're then distributed to our several packers that we have here who package the pads. Each set gets put in its own bag. And there's different types of adaptations we have. This little half pipe that makes the process more tactile. From there, they go into boxes where they are shipped to the troops. Okay, so I hope everybody could hear that. That's our biggest line that we make, and they are, as I said, 75% of the United States military are wearing these pads. These actually replaced helmet headbands, which were more of a suspension system for the helmets. But when warfare changed and there were more IEDs and more dangerous explosives that the headband could not protect our troops from, they shifted to this pad system. So, and the employees that you saw working there all were blind except for the quality inspector who was looking at the pads as they were printed. And all of these, you know, as I said, they get above minimum wage. Most take the bus to work, which is why we are downtown, because it's the most convenient for people who need to use the bus to get to their employment. So during the pandemic, it did change our services a little. We went from in-person support groups to virtual support groups. But because of that, it freed up a lot of time. So we were doing more than 5 support groups in Lancaster County. We were doing, I believe, 2 in Chester County, 2 in York, because we have a large footprint, and our service providers would have to go to these different centralized areas for clients to come together to meet. But having it virtually, we could just have one program where they all could just call in. So we have one per county for our support group and social group, but then we have one per footprint for some new groups that we added to bring people together from all 5 counties that we serve, to include a book club, a dog guide support group, white cane user group. We started a young women's group. The majority of our clients are over the age of 55. I believe it's 85% are over 55 years old. And so if you're younger and you have vision loss, if you're middle-aged, you probably won't have many people to talk to. So that young women's group was very popular with the women that we're serving. So that was a big bonus that came from this, and several clients who were unable to participate in support groups in the past are now able to do so through these phone calls and video calls. Our manufacturing, as I said, most of our work was essential, so we were able to continue. And our kids' activities also were held from a distance virtually. And any products like projects that we had sandcastle, like sand sculpture little contest, and building gingerbread houses. Our staff would take all the materials to the home, drop it at the front door, and then they would have a virtual meeting where the kids would do these, or they do them on their own, but share their progress through sending photographs, like you see Matthew here working on his gingerbread house. So we were able to adapt. It took a couple of weeks for us to kind of get our bearings, like how are we going to do this? But we were able to continue all of our services without stopping, and our most vulnerable clients who needed in-person services, we were able to do so safely. So all of this happens through support from the community, and ways that you could consider helping us achieve our mission would be through volunteering. Right now, that's a little slower, but a lot of the volunteering involves driving our clients to agency-held events. Also, of course, like I said, if you know anyone who could use our services, tell them about us. And we are available to do these presentations to any other clubs that you're a member of. And ways to support us financially, of course, are through any sort of donation anyone would be willing to make. Our big event, though, we have coming up, which the Monday Club was interested in, and I think, Deb, your name came up. I think you're the incoming president, and they have nominated you to rappel from the top of the Holiday Inn.
Oh no!
Which
they told me that. No.
It is.
Sorry for my language.
It is. I did it, and it is a lot of fun. We just created a flyer to send to clubs after we present virtually, a new one. So we're going to send that to you guys if you could share with the Monday Club, but we'll have the website on there. But basically, it's a rappelling event where we have close to 100 people rappel from the roof of the Holiday Inn, 2 at a time, on Friday, July 9th. The last time we did this was during the Extraordinary Give, but we had to cancel it this past year, this past fall, due to the pandemic, and so we've shifted to July. It'll be a little bit warmer. It was really cold in November on the top of the roof, but anyone that wants to rappel needs to raise $1,000, and any rappellers get their own website to send to people to make gifts on there, and you can watch your little thermometer, your fundraising thermometer go up. And it's a wonderful event. It raised almost $200,000 for us last year, which is just, we were blown away. It was the first time we did it and did not know what to expect. But the Penn Square Rotary participated at the first event. And we'd love to have the E-Town Rotary participate. And Deb,
is he talking? I
want to take out a life insurance policy on Debbie when she takes that.
You guys won't even attach the carabiner or whatever. You just let me.
No. You're the only one allowed up there. They can't. We had a sponsorship called Toss the Boss, which was just a saying where we were trying to get businesses to raise money for their boss to go off the roof. But then they actually thought they'd be tossing them, and we had to be very clear that no, 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 only the repeller goes up, and it is very safe. I did it. It gave me a lot of energy, and there's a lot of adrenaline pumping that day. So somebody from the club could certainly rappel to represent the Elizabethtown Rotary. But we'd love to have you guys. We'll send you that website. You can take a look at it. And then, of course, we have several social media outlets that you can follow us for more information on that and everything else that we do. So that's what I have in a nutshell. Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question for the club. What is the pattern above the pictures on her screen say? Did anybody pick up on that?
I did. Is it Braille?
Yes, it is. But what does it say?
I have no idea.
Anybody? The blind guy has to tell you?
Duh.
It says Vision Corps.
Good job, Roger. You're the
guessed that.
first person to to pick that up. Yeah. So
Anyone
are
else
there
have
any
questions?
are there any questions?
I nominate Roger to do the repelling off the building. He can't see, so he won't know how high he is.
I've done that many, many times as a paramedic firefighter, and I'm gonna nominate Logan Hoover. He's the new guy. So maybe, and he probably is the most physically fit of all of us. So
That could be a good initiation thing for him in the club. It is a really fun event. There's a lot of energy around it. A lot of people come to watch. And we do plan to live stream this event. So we'll be able to send links to people, and you will know the hour that you'll be rappelling. We can't tell exactly how fast or slow the event will go, but you can tell your friends to watch between 2 and 3 that you'll be going down, and they can hop on and watch.
I think I'm out of town. Checking my schedule.
I can tell you the speed of the descent. If you come out of your rigging, it's 32 feet per second squared.
You won't. Nobody's coming out of any rigging. It's a lot of fun. Are there any other questions about our services or how we can help?
Megan, you used to be called Susquehanna Valley Association Blind Visually Impaired, right?
We had a few names. The latest was Susquehanna Association for the Blind and Vision Impaired, or SABV, which, what is a SABV? Like, oh, I work at SABV. Well, we wanted to actually get blind out of the name because of that preconceived notion of blindness meaning total darkness, and people being hesitant to come in because they were not totally blind. So we came up with the name Vision Corps. We're a corps of people to help people with vision loss, employ them. We have a work corps. We just thought that it fit. So yes, we've had several names, but I think Vision Corps is going to stick, hopefully.
Do you remember the days, I don't know if you were employed there, where Allegro Orchestra Lancaster teamed up with then SABV, did a concert where it was a fundraiser, and we had an artist create art while we were performing to reflect the music, and all the proceeds, including somebody bought the work of art like for $10,000 from the audience, all that went to SABV.
Yes, and
that?
I was not part of that. That was before my time, but I've heard about it. And was that with Brian Norcross?
You got it. Yeah. I'm a member of that orchestra.
Yeah, we were working with him to do that again, like 2008, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Something happened that we couldn't do it.
Yep.
But that would be a good opportunity in the future to bring that back, because people are going to be itching to get out when it's safe again. So
yeah, go ahead and bug Brian Norcross. He has spoken at our club before, in fact.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm writing this down as a potential. We could have someone do artwork to Deb's screams when she's coming down the,
that's
the
a good
building.
one.
I'm thinking Don could try to play some sort of musical instrument on his way down the side.
If we can strap it to you, we can make it happen. It just has to be affixed to you so it can't fall.
I'll have to sing a song like "Next Time I Fall."
Oh, there you go.
In love.
Logan put on the chat, I will do it. Life is too short not to do it. I'm afraid my
Aw.
life would be shortened if I did do it, Logan.
It is fun. I'll send the video to you guys to watch, and it's the website's iDrop, EYE drop 2021.org. And there is a video from our first one in 2019. And if it doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. No.
Megan, I will also do it if Logan wants to do it and represent the club, because that's my birthday. I'd be happy to jump off a building.
Yeah,
Oh, now we
All
gotta
right.
raise more money.
Yeah. That's
awesome.
The only
Well,
thing is, does it start in the morning? Because I'm supposed to be out of town that weekend. So if I could do it early, it's easier.
Yeah, we can work with you to get you an early slot.
Okay.
Yep. It starts around 9 a.m. You'd have to report at 8 a.m.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
Yep.
And alcohol at 8 a.m. is not good.
I'll be passed out when I go over the edge.
That would be
You can't drink all
awesome.
day if you don't start in the morning.
That'd be great. We'd love to have you guys in any capacity.
So do we just need to go sign up if we're interested?
Yeah, who should I email the information to share with the
Just send
club?
it all to me
To Glenn? Okay.
and I'll get it to him.
All right. I will send
Glenn.
you that.
Glenn, do not forge my signature. Do not.
Hey,
He's
Megan,
smirking.
what's that date again?
July 9th. It's a Friday.
Anybody have other questions for Megan? Megan, I'm just wondering, do you know of people in the Elizabethtown community who are benefiting from your services?
I do. I know of one person in particular, but I know we have more. I can't share their name, but
course
if
not.
there's something you'd want to do, I could, talk to them and see if they have any needs, or I could talk to our rehab department and see. But yeah, we definitely have folks in Elizabethtown receiving our services. Yes.
Mhm. And some are employed thanks to your arranging?
I'm not sure if we have any E-Town employees.
Okay.
We might. They've changed so much. I've been working from home this whole time. They've kept us out of the building as much as they can to keep our manufacturing employees safe. And it's changed so much, but we may have someone that I'm not aware of.
Sure.
We have an
Hey.
E-Town graduate that works for us, Katarina Eller. She herself is blind, and she
wow.
went to Elizabethtown College. Yeah.
Don, when it was SABV, I was on the client advisory council for the organization.
Really?
So I
Oh,
have
neat.
some basic ties with them. Kendra, one of their therapists, taught me Braille. So,
She did a good job.
she's still there.
She's not. She actually is at university. Oh, it's one that has a very good program for people who are blind. I forget exactly, but she moved on to a university teaching what she does already.
Well, that's good because she's excellent.
Yeah, she's good.
We have time for one last question. Anybody? If not, Megan, thank you so much. It's so awesome what you do
Thank
to
you.
enrich so many lives. It's so touching to see the kinds of opportunities and employment available. So unmute everybody and let's
No.
thank her for
Thank you.
presenting
Thank
the-
you.